When you walk the streets of Hattiesburg, when you hear the music, taste the food, or meet the people that call this place home, you can feel it, the heartbeat of our city. I'm Kate Fletcher, and this is the Heart of Hattiesburg podcast, a podcast dedicated to sharing the people, stories, and organizations that keep the hub city thriving. Hey everybody, welcome to the Heart of Hattiesburg podcast. I'm so excited about this adventure where we get to share all the things that make Hattiesburg the city that we know and love. Whether you're from Hattiesburg or you've never even heard of Hattiesburg, I hope that you'll stay tuned and listen to this episode and listen to the people that I work closest with and their heart and what they have to bring to Hattiesburg and the things that they've learned from living in Hattiesburg all these years. In the show notes below, I have featured all the businesses that we talked about so that you guys can go share and follow their page. I really hope that through this podcast that we'll be able to highlight local businesses and give them some support. This week and for our first episode, I'm featuring Dr. Mark Yeager, who is my boss at William Carey. He is the Director of External Relations. And then I'm also featuring Leanna Blakeslee, who is our University Events Coordinator. Stay tuned as we hear from more special guests in later episodes. Welcome to the Heart of Hattiesburg podcast. I'm your host, Kate Fletcher, and for the first episode, we're going to hear from the people that I work closest with. Dr. Yeager, the Director of External Relations here at William Carey, and Leanna Blakeslee, our Events Coordinator here at the University. I wanted to bring them on for the first episode because they know what it's like to live in Hattiesburg, work in Hattiesburg, live and just thrive in the community here in Hattiesburg. So I wanted them to share their unique stories and experiences and about what Hattiesburg has done for them and also what they contribute to Hattiesburg. So in this episode, we're gonna talk to Dr. Yeager, Leanna, and how their path led them here, their favorite part in Hattiesburg, what do they love to do, and at the end, we're gonna play a fun game of Hattiesburg Would You Rather. Dr. Yeager, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to Hattiesburg.
Well, I'm originally from Taylorsville and graduated from Taylorsville and left Taylorsville to come to school in Hattiesburg at USM and never turned back. And once I got to Hattiesburg, it felt like home from the very beginning. And then my professional career took me to all types of places, all over the state of Mississippi.
Right.
Somehow I always knew I'd end up back in Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
So I was offered an opportunity to come and work at William Carey. And now almost 9 years have passed and I'm still here and still love Hattiesburg. And, you know, Hattiesburg's home from now on.
That's awesome. I love that. From your perspective, how does William Carey influence Hattiesburg? You've been here for 9 years. What do you think, how do you think we impact the community?
Well, you know, that's really an interesting question because I don't think it's always impacted Hattiesburg the way it has for the last several years.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot going on that's really changed the way that Hattiesburg and other surrounding communities connect to us here in Carey.
Right.
And that certainly hasn't always been true. It was often described as a hidden gem, you know, and we're just determined we're still going to be a gem, but we're not going to be hidden anymore, not hidden at all anymore. Yeah. And so I think that it influences not only economically, but you just think about all the students that come through here and where they end up, where they go out and make a difference in the world. I mean, we all know literally the world. We're not just talking about, you know, just around locally, the whole world. So I think it makes an impact on our community first, certainly while our students are here. And while we're doing great things in the community, but at the same time, they do great things for the kingdom all across the world. Yeah.
That's awesome. Are there, we just celebrated Common Grounds ribbon cutting and all those different things, news editions on campus. Are there anything else that we're excited about in the near future?
Well, there's a lot to be excited about, really, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, every day. You know, since I've been in this position, I think the two most rewarding things that we've done is build the shield.
Yes.
And I think that was a great addition to our campus, and it contributes to campus life in so many ways. I'm not so sure we had a whole lot of campus life before some of the changes we made. in the last several years. So the stage was kind of the first step. And then you mentioned the Common Grounds thing. I think that is really a heartbeat added to the campus that was missing. I had a conversation with somebody the other night about the whole, how they felt about it. And they were an alumni and said that when she came to school here, the only thing that there really was to do was to go to the library or sit in their room. And I said, so you always wanted somewhere to go. There was just never an option. She said, that's exactly right. Yeah. So I think that energy's always been here. Yeah. I think now we're giving it opportunity to blossom in places that it is. Yes. But looking to the future, we've got a lot of exciting things that some of them aren't even well planned out yet right now because we're on the front end of it.
Too much.
We bought a whole lot of land, 107 acres. And there's a lot can happen on 107 acres. Yes. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I know we were just talking about Common Grounds and everything we did there. For those that don't know, we have partnered with Grin for our coffee shop here on campus. And Grin is a local coffee shop here in Hattiesburg, right 2 minutes down the road from us. So we're excited to have them as a part of our university because students love Grin. So truly, they're going to love that addition to campus. Crawford Hall's been redone. So many different things. I love that y'all always have the students in mind in whatever choices.
Well, that's the only reason we're here.
That's right.
I mean, otherwise, why would we even be hanging?
That's exactly
I mean, we're fun to hang out with and stuff, but
that's true.
We got to have some purpose too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing those wonderful things about campus and a little bit of your backstory. We also have Leanna here, and we are always talking every day about curtains, rugs,
anything
interior design.
I love how you pick those items. There's a lot more conversation.
There's a lot more, but we are talking. I was gonna say we talk about everything from curtains and rugs to events on campus.
Yes.
Everything.
And Leanna's new apartment.
And Leanna's new apartment. Everything you can think of, we're discussing it. So we have basically our own podcast every day.
Pretty much.
People
we should have
only he's the audience for it. But a little bit about Leanna. She was born in San Antonio, Texas.
Proudly.
So I thought she would bring a great perspective onto this podcast because she hasn't always lived here, hasn't always been, around. So how does San Antonio differ from Hattiesburg? What did that look like? And, tell us about that journey.
So I spent my first 17 years, I'm born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. My mom actually is from Petal. My family goes back generations in Petal. They've worked in local businesses. My grandmother managed several banks in the old downtown Hattiesburg area. That's where my mom grew up, several Southern grads. So, I mean, the family history truly is here. Right. But a job took her to San Antonio where she met my dad and they raised my brother and I. In 2018, I like to call it a series of unfortunate events took place. My dad decided he wanted to look for a new job in February. In April, my grandmother was diagnosed stage 3 breast cancer. And then in June, my grandfather passed away. So on the way home from his funeral, my dad, thinking my brother and I were asleep, looked at my mom and said, hey, I think the Lord really wants us in Hattiesburg. And she laughed at him and said, you need to think about that because you're from Fort Lauderdale and your children are from the nation's 7th largest city. You're not going to survive in Petal and Hattiesburg. You really need to contemplate that.
There. Yeah.
Wildly different. So they sat in prayer over it, and sure enough, 2 weeks before school started, we moved. That was a pretty rough transition. I went from my freshman and sophomore year in high school in Texas to my junior and senior year in Petal High School, and it was a rough transition. There's a lot of cultural differences that I didn't expect. It seems we traveled here every year, and it seems like it's so similar, but it's really not. Yeah. But I've come to love it, and it really took coming to Carey. This is my 5th year, going to my 6th year as a student here at Carey, and it took all 6 years for me to learn to love what there is to love about their surrounding community, and it really is the community itself from the love we have for one another. That's not an option in a large city because you see somebody once and you'll probably never see them again.
Right.
Here you bump into somebody on the street and you'll probably see them that afternoon.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more care and awareness around the community.
Yes. Yeah. So would you say that's like the one thing that you love most about Hattiesburg and about Carey is the community?
That's definitely a big one.
Yeah.
One thing that Carey does incredibly well, and I see that reflected throughout Hattiesburg, is the giving back aspect. We're always looking to do things that encourage people down the road, even if they're not directly associated with our university. And that's just not something you see every day in a large city.
Yeah.
Everyone's expected to take care of themselves.
Yes, we look out for each other.
Absolutely.
That's a big thing. Yeah. Thank you for sharing those things about Carey, things about your experience in San Antonio, and how Hattiesburg has been different for you. I think now it's time for a fun little game. Hattiesburg, would you rather?
Okay.
Did y'all look at that?
I
No,
did not
I
actually.
I don't have my
Okay.
glasses on.
There's
You know I
no
couldn't
right
read
or
that.
wrong.
I didn't know.
There's no right or wrong answer, but I'm excited to hear what y'all say, and I do want some explanation to why y'all choose this. Okay,
So
so
give an explanation.
this is a dining, this is an eating question. Would you rather eat Southbound or the Midtowner?
Southbound.
Southbound?
Southbound.
And I
Okay.
have a friend who works at the Midtowner, and I'm sure, but besides my brother's girlfriend working at Southbound, and I love to see her, their food is so good.
So good.
Their
It
homemade
is.
bagels.
I like Southbound because when I was in college here, that was a whole different place, and it's a piece of my memory and
Yeah.
history from back those days. And so
That's interesting.
it was always a place that was open, after we were hanging out in the evening time, because this is where we hung out. We didn't
Right.
hang out on the other side. West Hattiesburg, it
Right.
didn't even exist at that time.
That's
So-
right. It was
Yeah,
not developed.
What's
That's
that?
right.
It was trees.
It was
Yeah,
trees.
it was trees and there were no street lights. Yeah.
That's crazy. You're telling your age.
Yeah. So yeah, it's nostalgic for me. It takes me back to
Yes.
a fun time. Yeah.
The flavors at Southbound really
Yes.
can't be beat. I'm a Southbound girl too.
It's,
I think I
it's
enjoy the
aged
meals
well.
there.
It's aged
Yes.
well.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Okay, so coffee question now. Would you rather have coffee from Grin or coffee from T-Bones? Although I do think T-Bones uses Grin coffee. But there's a
Where would you rather
distinct.
sit?
Where would you rather get your coffee from?
So I'm gonna have this is gonna sound like a cop out, but there are certain things that T-Bones does that I enjoy from there and almost there only. Not just Grin, but anywhere else.
Like
But now, well, they have a coffee there that is it's a latte. But I don't know if it's because the person that makes it makes it better or whatever, but it's really good and it's a very smooth flavor. And sometimes, lattes can be a little too sharp tasting a little bit.
Right.
So I like that there. I've never had a bad one of those there. And I like vanilla or caramel, so
Yes,
it's
that's
got
true.
all that.
Yeah.
But Grin is my go-to for that's where I'm going to go to get coffee.
Yes.
I have to have a special reason to go to T-Bones
To go to
because it's a little out of place. Yeah.
So you choose both. I guess that's an
It depends
option.
on the occasion.
Yeah.
Most Saturdays you can find me at Grin.
Right.
If I have schoolwork, anytime I go there, there's at least 5 people I know that I go to school with
Yeah,
or that
that
I go to Bible study with. So it's hard.
community.
It's hard to not go to Grin, but there is an ambiance at T-Bones.
Yes,
that-
the
There's
vibes.
live music
The vibes.
at T-Bone often.
And
So
there's
yeah.
records.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to say
Yeah.
too, like there's distinct purposes for the coffee shops in town.
That's right.
Like Grin, I can lock in, I can get my homework done.
Yes.
T-Bones, you've got that loud music, love it, but you do have live music that
And you have more of a
sometimes
meal.
distracts from doing your homework.
Yes.
It's more it's a more of a place you'll hang out with people
Yes.
and
I
talk
agree.
and do that.
And then there's Luna downtown that's actually pretty cool.
I've never had it.
Oh, we'll have to do
It's
that
precious.
sometime.
Oh my gosh,
It's
Luna.
right down it's like in a little alley.
Yeah.
It's real cool.
You walk in and it's like you're in Paris.
I actually think
Oh,
they use
wait,
green
Cafe
coffee
de
too.
Luna. I
Yeah,
was just
yeah,
thinking,
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
the little outdoor seating area
Yeah.
is so nice.
It's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
precious.
So
Yeah.
nice. Yes. Would you rather spend your evening at the Hattiesburg Zoo or the Pocket Museum? I know those are distinct, but What's your-
An entire evening, I think.
Or just
probably the
a-
zoo.
a fun night. Yeah, the zoo.
Only because there's a little bit more walking to do, and I really like hikes.
Mm-hmm.
The Pocket Museum is fun, especially if you're in a big group and you want to do the
Yes.
excursion. But
Right.
if I'm spending an entire evening, I think I want to walk the perimeter of the zoo.
Right.
So I like the Pocket Museum because it can be included in a bigger evening. And
That's
every
true.
time I've gone to the zoo, the lynx looks just alike, just like it did last time. But the Pocket Museum, there's always a treasure hunt there.
Yes, that's
There's
true.
always these Easter eggs that if you just
Yes.
look, you can always find
There's
something
something
else.
new every time.
But another thing about the Pocket Museum, and I think we're building this relationship with the zoo, is they're very invested in Carey.
Yes.
They have our summer
You can find
art student show.
banners.
I
The
think we have a
banners.
couple of the banners
Yeah,
here.
yeah, we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can
Um,
find William Carey
yeah.
artifacts there. It's not
Yeah.
only in the zoo, but yeah, that's true. And you're right, it can be into a bigger evening because of the atmosphere and going to eat and
Cafe de Luna.
Cafe
You
de
can
Luna.
the way you can make a night South Bend's closed at night.
that's
But
true.
yeah, but
you
if
can
the
do a
right,
day
if
of
the
it.
timing's right, Saturday
Right.
morning,
Blue Jazz.
you get Cafe de Luna,
Hattiesburg.
Southbound, they do the Pocket Museum.
There's
Yes.
a lot of options.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
You're
I like
exactly
the
right.
lemurs. I like looking at the lemurs. Maybe they're doing something different.
The animals.
Yes. there's more to that. There's a lemur is kind of a out there kind of animal.
What
if you
a
think about it.
random animal
Yeah.
to pick for the zoo for the reason. What is y'all's favorite zoo animal?
Ooh, the here? Well, no problem. The one we have here or the
It had at the Hattiesburg Zoo.
our giraffes are really cool. It's
That's mine.
really because it's fun to drive down the road and you're in South Mississippi and then all of a sudden there's a giraffe.
Yeah.
So my favorite one, and they're relatively new here as well too, are the hyenas. And the reason I like them is because they have some young ones there at the zoo now, and they'll lay beside the glass. When we were there, they lay beside the glass, and you're looking at this animal and you're going, "Oh, it is so cute and precious, and it will kill you."
It will.
And you're just looking at this animal like, "Oh, love me because I want you to love me, and I will rip your throat out at the same time."
That is so funny. I think that sometimes that's Leanna sometimes. So cute. She's so cute, but she will attack.
She'll
If
stand her
necessary.
own.
Big properly, we'll be okay.
It is so funny. I think that's all women in general.
Probably.
They will attack.
No comment.
No comment.
No comment on my part on
Why?
that.
Good
I
for
will-
you. Good
I will
for
stay.
you. Know what
I
it's
will
like.
steer
You-
wide of that comment. I will not get close to that one.
Okay, last question. Would you rather thrift shop at the Lucky Rabbit or other local thrift stores?
Oh,
If you had to pick.
well, now I love the Lucky Rabbit. I think it depends on the day because if it's hot or if I know there's going to be a lot of people, I'd almost rather get a couple gals together and go on like a tour of all the local thrift stores, which I've done before and it's really fun. But if it's a cool day, you get there early in the morning before the crowd hits, the Lucky Rabbit is just a treasure that you don't see anywhere else.
Right, it's so distinct.
Yes.
Like it's so unique from other places that.
So here's a really weird story. Okay,
Okay, I'm just.
it's gonna make it short.
It's gonna end.
I was in Jackson and I was looking for a specific sweater out because I like to do outdoor stuff and camping stuff,
Right.
and I wanted this particular quarter zip sweater.
Mhm.
I looked everywhere, could not find one. Couldn't find it. So the next day I was in Hattiesburg and I was over by Newt's restaurant and I said, I'm going to go in Plato's Closet. I walked over to the area that has men's clothes that fit me. The first thing I saw was the exact sweater, the exact size that I was looking for. And I have been a Plato's Closet fan ever since.
I would be too.
And my
So-
best outdoor camping clothes come from Plato's Closet.
Plato's Closet.
I will let the
Okay.
rich people
I
buy
didn't
them.
even think about that.
And then
Oh,
I'll
then
buy
you
them a lot less. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
You can really find some gems in there.
That I have to
Yes.
go. I've actually never been to Plato's Closet.
Oh, you need to fix that.
It's like
Yeah, you need to fix that.
Pretty good.
That's really fun. I think I would probably say other thrift stores if I had to pick. I know if I had to, but it's hard if you had to give up the Lucky Rabbit or other thrift stores.
I don't think I'm willing to give either of them up. It
No,
just
me
depends on the
either.
day.
It does. It does depend. It does. But there are some good ones around here too that support a lot of good and great causes.
Edward
that-
Street,
Edward Street,
Salvation
like
Army.
most all of them have something that they're have
Mhm.
somewhere that they're
That's
giving
true.
back to.
That's true.
So we'll say there's kind of that toss up there of where you're supporting. Thank y'all so much for coming on and sharing your stories. The links to all the information that I shared about the local businesses and things like that, I'm going to highlight them and put them in the show notes below. And thanks for tuning in to the first episode of the Heart of Hattiesburg podcast. Subscribe today and be a part of the movement that keeps Hattiesburg's heart beating strong.